Hello, welcome to Storytime and Farming. Now, look, I, I, I know, I know, trust me. I know I'm kind of being, lazy. No, not necessarily. Okay, no, I'm not being lazy. I have not been not responding to comments, which is so unlike me. And I said I knew I would. I said I would. But y'all, give me a fucking break, please. I have been doing like 60 hours a week, sometimes 70 hours a week. And it is killing me. Doing 12-hour days, man. Uh Here in Louisiana during this season with rodents and wildlife, it's rough because there's so much activity. And it's just really hard when I get home after a 12-hour day, which my day is only supposed to be 8 hours, but I'm so booked up every single day that I have to. Like, I didn't get home last night till 7:30, y'all. I mean, it was on a Friday. It was bad. Anyway, but see, not much is going on in Anima right now, so I kind of feel alright about it. But I feel really shitty about not responding to y'all's stuff because I am not that guy. I am not that guy that like posts stuff and then just ignore your shit. I've honestly just been too tired. I go home and I go to sleep, and I'm on the road all day, going to different stops and everything, and I just can't sit there and type stuff out. Anyway, apologies. Things will slow down once this season's over, and rodent and wildlife season, not animal season. Speaking of anima season, in typical dev fashion, they announced their shit and then didn't tell us anything else, which is just so like them. I mean, it's just we come to expect that. But that's not why you clicked on this link. You clicked on this link to hear some of my wild and crazy story times. So, I had a first. I was we do this trapping for commercial trapping and stuff like that, and we set out medium-sized traps because we don't want to catch anything larger than a raccoon or a possum or something like that. Well, the business that we have also set out large traps. So I get a call. Hey, we caught something in the trap. We hear it, but nobody's really going out to look. We hear the trap rattling around. It was back in a courtyard. You would have to understand the layout so people could hear it, but couldn't really see it because it was behind like different walls and stuff. It's a I'm not gonna say like it's kind of like a hospital type thing where it has cut off parts where you can't access that. You have to have special access. Anyway, they said they heard it, so I was like, okay, yeah, probably caught a raccoon again. So I go back in there, and it's the large trap that they set out, and I'll be damned, we caught a coyote. And I'm like, the hell am I supposed to do with this? What? So this is a large trap. It's not a big coyote. It's a medium size, probably about the size of a medium dog, 70 pounds or so. But the trap itself is fairly large and bulky and heavy. And then I'm sitting there trying to pick up this coyote in this trap, and as you can imagine, a coyote is not gonna be the most patient of animals. So he's in the trap. He's pissed as usual, as most animals would be. He's biting and snarling and growling. I have no protocol on this. I have no like we don't trap coyotes. We don't do. I mean, occasionally we have, but it's not a common thing. It's a specialized thing. Like if like someone says, "Hey, we have a coyote problem. Can you bring out traps?" It would be specialized. I was not prepared for this, and I'm just like, the hell am I supposed to do? So I get the pick up the coyote, and I'm struggling. I'm struggling trying to. He's like rattling the cage and bringing it back and growling and snarling, and I have to go through. I can't just like go out to my truck because I'm like it's like a maze in there. You have to go in and out of doors and stuff. So I'm having to bring him in and out of doors, and people are looking like, "What is that? What is that?" And I don't know. I made up some stuff. Um, you know, told one person I caught a chupacabra. They're like, "A chupacabra? What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just really really rare animal." And they didn't really ask anything. I was just like, whatever, dumbasses. So I get the chupacabra, the coyote. Finally get him in my truck, and I call my supervisor. And I was like, the hell am I supposed to do with this? He goes, what did you catch? I said, I caught a coyote. He's like, how? I said, not in our traps. He's like, he's like, well, what are you going to do with it? I'm like, I don't know. That's why I called you. Because our gas chamber isn't, like, it doesn't fit this type trap. So, I'm like, okay, I'm bringing it back to the office. And so we get back to the office, and I have this large trap. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, I have no idea. So we have to get him in a smaller trap. Now this is like this is like shoving, like trying to squish. I don't know. It was like squishing marshmallows through a cage. He was just like, we had to get him into a smaller trap and just like poke, well, not really poke him, but like kind of push him from the back and get him into the smaller one so we could put him in the gas chamber. And man, that was an ordeal. And it was the most interesting couple of hours of, no, not the most interesting. No, I would say it was the most interesting. Not the most entertaining, but the most interesting. Because I've never done anything like that. So yeah, we got him in the gas chamber and gassed him. And yeah, that was my first experience with a coyote. The next one was, I went to the same place a couple of days later because they did catch a raccoon. And it appeared on my schedule, and my supervisor called me and said, hey, guess what? They caught a raccoon this time. I'm like, oh, yay. I can't pick it up. He's like, well, can you pick it up before you go home? I go, no, because the office will be closed. He's like, well, no, I think you can get it in. So I was like, okay. Sure enough, I didn't get there till after the office was closed, which means I cannot access the gas chamber. So, Mr. Raccoon and I had to bring Mr. Raccoon home. And he spent the night in the back of my truck. Now, before any of you little bleeding hearts start complaining about the goddamn cruelty and all that other shit that went on with the squirrel video, I made that private because too many people are fucking pussies. Anyway, and if you don't like that, unsubscribe. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I mean, that's part of life, part of my job. You don't like hearing it, fuck off. Anyway, I get with Mr. Raccoon, and I sit him in the back of my truck. I give him a little bit of food in there, give him some water, and I'm chilling with him. He's a cute little guy. I really don't like killing raccoons, but I mean, it's part of the job. So I chill with him a little bit. He's calm. He's amazingly calm. I think he was an adolescent. He wasn't very old. But yeah, I gave him some food and I gave him some water because with live trapping, we're supposed to get them within 24 hours, and they're not supposed to have any type of cruelty done to them. So I figured, well, he's going to be in my truck for all night. I need to feed him and give him some water. And I hung out with him for a little bit. Didn't pet him because he's a raccoon, and raccoons are dangerous. So don't ever just go find a wild raccoon and chill with them. Be like, hey, Isaac told me that raccoons are cool, and now I have rabies. Yeah, don't do that. Please don't. Raccoons are not cool. I mean, if you get one as a baby and raise it as a pet, yeah, that's fine. But don't just go find a fucking wild raccoon and play with it. Don't. It has rabies, more than likely. So, I chilled with him. Gave him water, gave him food. And then, in the morning, brought him to the gas chamber and gassed him. It was sad. It's something I have to do. And again, before you bleeding hearts and people start bitching at me, it is the fucking law. If we live trap something, the animal has to be euthanized. It is the law, okay? The law. Like, we will get in trouble if we don't euthanize it, because these animals carry rabies and they have to be euthanized. Anywho, so it was very sad to see Mr. Raccoon go, but I tried to make his last few moments as easy as possible. Now, for the most entertaining story, this happened a couple days ago. I was up in an attic. Lady was having squirrel and rat issues. They had chewed through the wiring of her, electrical wiring, and so she also had electricians there, replacing all the wiring and everything, because the squirrels and rats had completely just like destroyed her wiring. So I was up in the attic setting traps, evaluating where to put them, and sealing up some stuff. It was really mostly squirrels that had done all the damage, because fucking squirrels. Of course it's squirrels. So I set out a few live traps for squirrels, and I was setting out snap traps for rats. And I hear something. Now keep in mind, I'm in an attic. It's all dark except for my flashlight where I'm shining it. And there's insulation. If you've ever been in an attic, I don't know why I have to actually describe an attic, but for some people, they've never been in an attic. Okay, there's boards, and then in between the boards, there's insulation. So I'm walking over to a corner, and most commonly, you have problems in like corners where pitches are, and where roof pitches are, where the roof comes down. And I happen to shine my flashlight, and I see something moving in the insulation. I'm like, well, god damn, there's something right there. And so I start walking towards it, and it's moving. It's not just like kind of moving, it's really moving. And so I shine my light on it, and I see the insulation moving. I rear my foot back. I'm about ready to boot it. And then I start seeing the insulation part. And this white thing comes up through the insulation. And like it spreads out and starts like looking around. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I am rare, but I have on my steel-toed boots, and I am about to punt this thing across the attic. I am. I didn't know what it was. I knew it wasn't. It wasn't supposed to be there. So I was about to. Just kick it as hard as I could with my steel-toed boot, and then it like spread out and it was completely white and started like looking around. And as I was about to kick it, I realized, oh my God, that's a hand. And I looked down, and the electrician was reaching through the ceiling to pull cord. And I was like, oh my God, dude, you were about to get the shit kicked out of you. And he started laughing. He thought it was hilarious. I'm like, I did not know what that was coming through the ceiling. And so yeah, that was me almost like kicking the hand off of the electrician. That was my funny story. But I mean, just keep in mind the sight that I was seeing, this thing coming through the ceiling, like coming through the insulation, then looking and spreading out. It was a pretty funny sight. But that was all for my interesting stories. So as soon as I get some more, of course, I'll give you some more story time and farming. Other than that, again, nothing's really going on with Anima. And as soon as something happens, I'll keep you up to date. But again, y'all please give me a break. Please, I am working a lot. Anyway, y'all have a good day.